Okay, I guess I'm here watching my own video. Where am I going to begin today? Didn't know it was past midnight. Past midnight, imagine. Why does my clock say 12? Should it be saying 00? What would 00 mean to anybody at all? What does it mean? What does it mean to be a 00? What if we had 4 zeros? And then since we have 4 zeros, how can we say 12? Why would we start to say 12? Are we in the center of a clock? Are we on the circumference of the clock? Are we actually on the eye of the clock, like right there, right? Then we got three arms pointing in different directions, and one of the arms is could be working at 24 hours, and then another arm could be working at the half day hours, while the other arm is working at the 60 minutes, while the other arm is working on the 60 seconds. Yes, here's one of the equations I want to talk about. So much paperwork. You know what? Where are all those good secretaries when you need one that can remember everything you want to do, you know? How can I do anything alone? Look at that. I even need two hands. Well, I don't actually need them. I just won't be as efficient. You know what I'm saying? And then I need the stabilizers to balance myself when I'm writing out. So then how do I stabilize myself? Do I sit down? Where do I find my balance? Hello, Tammy. How are you? Hello, Tammy. How are you? Well, there were so many words I was working on, and how we create a rotation of letters, and I'm gonna run into that and show you. Let me move over some of my paperwork. One of my pieces today was about how the Mayan clock rotation works in sevens and 13s, and it's not the only one that runs in sevens and 13s, but so does this over here. 1 and 6 equals to 7. 3 and 4 equals to 7. 2 and 5 equals to 7. And on the low side, 7 and 6, 9 and 4, and 8 and 5. They're all 13s. 1 and 3 equals to 4. We're now working the 7 and 4 system. Just give me 1 minute. Somehow this hour, somebody is throwing me a beep. And who is it? You may not be able to get messages. No, just advertising, just advertising. So okay, here is this. I took with some of my pens. I don't know if I brought them back. Okay, I have at least one pen. I want to talk about that 7 and 13 rotation. It's right over here. This is what the Mayans have given to me in the understanding. And not only that, also with this calculator. Okay, so if you notice, I'm running 7 over to 6 and 4 over to 3. I use the top corner and then I use the bottom corner. So you see this. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting here 7 with 6, but I like to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My calculator is the other way. So we're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So when I get to 10, right, 7 and 10, none of these connect down here. So what happens is the one area here, I connect to the outside of the 6, and here's the other area, and I connect to the second part of the 6 over here. In the 4 area, I connect over here to the 9, and I have 13 and 7, and it creates this illusion over here. Note that the reason I didn't touch this over here is even though this is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, okay, it's a different color. This is the black, sorry, this is the red positive, and this is the black. And then it starts over again. So in order to find out if something moves in rotation, we go down to 12, because only at 12 we know if all my rows, right, told a reflective story. So only at 12 can I see that, right? 14, 15, and 16, sorry, 13, 14, and 15, where that comes in, right? Here's 12. Then here's 13, 14, and 15, like 4, 5, and 6. But it's not the same over here. So instead of just 12, now I have to make this row here because it's not the same. This 4, 5, and 6 and this 4, 5, and 6 is not the same. It's a single pane window and it's a double pane window. This is when you connect your 7s and 13s in one direction. It also crisscrosses and goes the other direction, right over here, right? So that look at that, bigger, 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 bigger. When we work in one world, I believe that we start with the J when we come to the your mirror or your back side, right? A, B, C equals to 6, then D equals to 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So your 4 is your base formation. We come into the half-life through the E world at 6. So it's minus 20% and plus 20% of 5 equaling to both 1. Minus the 1 from 5 equals to 4, plus the 1 from 5 equals to 6. So we have a Mars and Saturn balance, right? Through Venus into Mars and Saturn. And then on the bottom of everything is Neptune, or the 8th planet. I'm not working with 10, 11, or 12 planet. I look at the 10th planet. That is our base, the beginning of the reflection, right? The beginning of the reflection of A, B, C, D, right? And if you want me to show you that on paper, I'm going to put this down over here. My camera sometimes shuts out and I have to reopen it. And by the way, Buckle Lake, you wrote all the same words, but there were 4 in a row. So you were telling me something about the N is the sun, the GE, right, is the electric moon. The NI, although it's number 23, it's part of creation, the birth, right? In the E world, the 5 and 9 come together. You're born into the E worlds through the 9 birth. So you're automatically, once you come in, although you're the reflective angel, the D angel, D and equals to 10, J, what happens when you come here, right, into the house of Bate, Venus 2, times the 9 birth, or number 29, you come into the IT system. You add the alpha connection, the spirit, the broken up spirit that rotates within this world, right? And there's 4 of them, even though the star is a basic 8 star, right? In fact, it's more than 8 if you're going from the core. If you're going from a flat surface, it's 8. But if I'm going from the core, right, it could be looking at it as this way and this way, and then 1 through this way. That'll be a 6, right? And then you start to go up into the other corners. So this is discussable because I have many different answers. So where we're going to go with this, I'm going to get a glass of water in the kitchen. I'm going to come back and show you the way the ABC base is, okay? ABC, the base of ABC. The Lord, the Creator, has been transparent for me. I have to remember to talk about M13 and K11. Like almost all the numbers stem out from those 2 numbers, but just give me a minute. Note. No, just give me a minute. Whoop. just knocked over the cat's food. Just give me 1 minute. Having a little bit of honey, maybe a little bit too much. I'm just bringing this cup over here. Just give me 1 minute here. Let me put that down. Let me see, where is this? Over here. You can't stay out. I'm shutting the door. Okay, cat is out on the balcony now. So let's see where I am going to begin. If the camera shuts off, then I'm going to start it back up. That would make sense. 3D, the cube. Yeah, when you're starting in the middle of the cube. Right. And, right, if I was to put on a different plate, right, I'd put a plate on here, right, and there'd be a plate on there, right, and then there'd be another plate on here. Each world, one world runs this way, and it runs off the other two worlds, right? Then we come back to our basic moon. I don't want to talk about this. I'm not really sure which way to put it, but we're definitely connected to another system. The other thing is this, right? Since we have the center of Rubik's Cube, right, we put a stick through there, and then we get one through here, and then we get one through here, right? This is your base, right? So you have 2, 4, 6. There is no 8. There's only 6, right? And then what you do, okay, is you put this one here, right? You put this one here, right? And that's 2. Then you put this one here, 3, and you put this one here, right? Although maybe I'll offset it. So I'll have 4 here. So I have 2, 4 over here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and then I'm going to have 4 in the bottom. So I got 4, 8, 12, and then everything's spinning about this one over here. That'll be your sun system. Just don't want to sleep on this tonight. If you can't do it by hand, just give me 1 second. I don't know why it won't let me adjust it, but oh God, I have no time to lose. Okay, I don't know why I can't fix this, but that's okay. I'm going to try my best. Just give me 1 second. I'll see if I can fix this here. Okay, I can't fix it. Okay, it's looking better right now. So forget about what I just spoke about. It is what it is, right? Why 12? Is anybody asked that question? Why 12? Why 12? If A, B, C, and then D turns it over, and then A, B, C, and D turns it over, and then A, B, C, and D turns it over, that's your 12. Your next one is a complete turnover of the cycle. So once you do this, if you're following the A, B, C, and then you calculate it towards the moon. So we go over 28 days, 28 days, and 28 days. We have a full turnover cycle of the moon. But we need 4 cubes to do this. And it took 4 cubes to create this turnover cycle of the moon. And we do that 4 times, and then we start over on the 13th. The number they use to organize the system. If I show you this picture over here, hold on, do I have my, let me see if I have this over here. They didn't just pick any number. Oh, in fact, look at that, 1224, right? Ironic. They don't use ever zero time. It's 1224, not using zero time. There's something about that. I have to think about this. Okay, let me see. There was a picture I wanted to come out of here with, and let me see where that picture is. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're just going to go here and pull it out from here. I'm going to go through some of these pictures. No excuse tonight that I'm I started in sync and I feel like I'm falling out of sync. Well, I'm going to show you, okay, what happens. And can anybody see the left here about halfway through the screen? I'm going to put my hand through. You see right over here, just move a little to your, I think it's to the right. Then you can see the setup here. Well, that setup, okay, the red line is going to be 1 and jump over the yellow dot, and that's 3, 5, 7, 9. Over here is 12. Over here is 14. You see the way the Y starts at 14? Right? So once you see that Y over here and then the X, you can see the X repeated, right? But we don't see another repeat until we see the Y again. So now we know that the X repeated, the Y repeated, the X repeated, the Y repeated. So now we know the cycle is this. There's a total of 36 area spaces. Now it's either 4 area spaces of 9 or it's 3 area spaces of 12. Always noting that when you end at 12, 12 is 1 and 2 is 3. We back up 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 12 is where 1 and 2 comes with inside of it. You need 1 and 2 to begin with 3, right? 3 meets at the 5 and the 1 meets at the 5 position right over here, right? It begins with its own reflection. Then there's 1 on this side over here is 9 and 12 or 9 and 3 come together. So this is what the roulette setup is right over here, right? Now I'm going to just take this away for a second. The 3, 6, 9 relevance in which 1 and 2 equals to 3, and then we have 3. And then 4 and 5 are next equals to 9, right? And then we have 6. And then 7 and 8 are equal to 15. 1 and 5 is 6, and then we have 9. There's a difference between 3, 6, and 9 and all the other numbers. They don't do what 3, 6, and 9 does. In fact, everybody works itself into 3, 6, and 9, and everything works itself into here. I'm going to show you that right now. Right? If you have any questions, and just to let you know, they showed us right here where Pluto and Mars came together, right? In the divided sun or the alternative sun, right? You see, if you have a block, right, a 27 block, a 3 cubed, and you take a 2 cubed, which is a smaller block that has no center, and you move it around, you can move it in 8 different positions, always holding on to the core. Noted that the core of a 3 cube, or let's look at Monopoly a little bit different. The Monopoly board is set up with 40. There's also that this here is set up with 40. That the Monopoly board, okay, in order to create the size of that board, it takes a minimum of 168 areas surrounding one. It just so happens there's 168 hours in the week. It just so happens that half of the week is 84 hours, which is 3 cycles of 28 or 4 cubes. Your cubes and your opponent's 2 cubes. 21 dots per cube. I wanted to see, yes. So if you want to know why I said 40, it's because it's a 1 in 9, 10. a 7 and 3, 10, a 4 and 6, 10, an 8 and 2, 10. The difference between this and the Monopoly board is we have to spread this out. We're going to take this number 1 and we're going to spread it all the way down here, and it's going to remain a corner. And then we're going to take the number 7, we're going to spread it all the way up here, and it's going to be a corner. We're going to take the 3 and drag it all the way down here, and it'll be a corner. And then I'll put the 9 up there. And in between, you see where number 2 goes? It'll be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. What does that mean? Is the corners have 4 area space usage. Every property has 2. When you run the band of the Monopoly board with the 4 in the corner and the 2 for every property, community chest, etc., you have a total of 160. You have a total, of 88 setups, 16 to the corners and 72 to the inside. Not to forget how the trains operate. How do the trains operate in society? They own both sides of the track. The choo-choo train goes down the track. The track looks like number 11. What about the train's value that's sitting on the track? What's the value of the avatar train sitting on the track that looks like 11 with 1 driving down the center, and it's not a monorail? So let me go back. I wanted to talk to you again about ABC. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I just want to go through some of the notes. 12 is the number of the Anunnaki. 12 is the number they used to organize the system. Interesting, we have 10 fingers instead of 12. But if you give me a high five like this, we have 6. See the 4 doubles over here? And then the 2. If you go up to somebody right over here, and they're looking that way while you're looking that way, and you hold their hands, you'll have another 6. And every hand that's being held would be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. The other thing is when you take 2 shapes and you put 1 shape back to the next shape, everything switches. I'm going to show you this. I hope my camera doesn't go down. It's like this. If I take a basic design like this, and we're going to call this 8, if I add a second one onto it, right, I no longer have 8 and 8. I have 7 and 1 and 7 and 1. And my gateway pass is right over here. My gateway pass comes right through here. The area space that is occupied on the outside, okay, is going to be 8. With the interior space, which is not captured, is going to be over here, the 1 area space, right? So if I create just a square and I put another square next to it, where I should have had 4 areas and 4 areas, right? In reality, I only have 4 sides. But if we count, right, the sides this way, okay, I have 1, 2, 3 sides and 1, 2, 3 sides. So instead of 8, I now have 6. It's ironic that 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 6 equals to 8. That's your dividing gate. That's your dividing 7th gate, right? You know, if I chopped, nothing will happen. If I chop the corners on this one, I end up with this. This is Mars 22. The Earth one is this big, right? What goes around this one is this. That's the 33 to Earth and 22 to Mars. So if you're looking for a dollar sign, right, you'd be running it this way. I'm not going to run it this way, right, or this way. I can't find, I have to follow these lines. I can't get a line through here. I can get a line through here. But why should I pass this area here? Here I could, because there is no place to trap it in the center. So I have to start from the top. This is the only reason it would go through all the way. This is Earth. This is Mars 22 and 33. Ape. Go. Number 22. Monkey, right, is 83. Also noted to be the 9th zodiac sign. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use that, right? But like I said, the 9 birth is in the E world, right? And that's Jupiter, right? The mirror shows up here, and that 10 mirror into the heavens 8 becomes the R letter, right? The house of Resh, the 18th letter. They call it Chai, creation heaven of AI, bringing 2 worlds of 9/11 together. Or how about a canine, right? You call your dog a canine. The 9, you usually call it the 9 lives of the cat. The word both 9 and 5 equals to 42. It's just ironic that the cat equals to 24, which creates the 6 and 8, which divides the 7th gate of the house planet. To note that the word planet and house equals 68. And inside the house, not only is there's the hoe of use, right? 23 and 45. Universal spirit, entity. I'm just trying to see the way I'm going to put this together. This combination creates 24. I'm just trying to see if I should talk about this dividing the house of 666. The F6, the O15, and the X24 equals to 49. It equals to 39 and 6, right? Your house is the 6th house of X and O, right? If I had to use, I'm just trying to figure out which way I should go with this is 5 and 6. I'm just trying to think, okay, just leave that out right now. This 5 over here, 5 and 9, right, is where we run rotation. And if I'm going to speak, right, and I'm going to use BC, right, B, and over here is D. I'm going to put that over here. We use this house BC, right? And how about ABCD? Where is BC? What is BC? B and C equals to 5. A and D equals to 5. Both these worlds come together at BC. It becomes the ABC and the BCD. But that's not the only thing that comes from this world. It's also the ABD. It's also the ACD. And then you get the BCD from the ABCD 10. So what you get out of it is 6, 9, 7, and 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here's what happens now. A, E, and I. 1, 5, and 9. And in the center over here, you get the 3. In the center over here, you get the 7. So what was your base creation between here and here to where your base creation is to here and here? Once you come into this mirror world over here, what was 2, 3, 4? In this world is 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to see if I have this picture here so I can show you. Just give me a second. I don't know why the pictures. Okay. So, the picture. Whoop. Yeah, I'm going to look for a picture I want to show you. I'm hoping to find a picture. Oh boy, I don't know why I don't see it. I don't know where I saw it. Maybe I saw it somewhere else. Just give me 1 minute, see if I can find it. And I was just looking at it a minute ago. See, it's down here somewhere, the picture. Here's one I wanted to work on. Whoop, I don't know if you can see that. Here's one I want to work on over here. See the 4, 5, the 3, and 6. It just so happens the female sex organ is 54. The male is 63. And then it all connects over here. I don't know which position or number that is. I'm gonna have to take a look. What is that? The 9th position over here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think it's the 9th position right over here. Everything connecting in the 9th position, putting all the circles together, all the triangles together. So, yeah, so at the end of this, your basis of these two worlds, right? The way to get in, okay, in this world over here, you can see both the B and the D are connected, right? So this will be 6 plus 1, 7. And then over here, all of these, okay, this is going to say 5 plus 4 equals to 9. And then this one's going to say 3 and 4, 7 and 1. Why? Because the A is on the other side. The A cannot come and be with the D without having the B over here. So we have to understand that in this one over here, that is 8. It is the heavens that join this one over here and this one over here. This one is your birth. This is your 432. So what happens over here? Your 432 healing vibration, right? When you bring it into its ring, okay? Let me see. Like here is 1, and then out here is 9, and then 2 and 8 will be over here, and then 3 and 7 will be over here, and 4 and 6 will be over there, and then 5 will be in that center area over here. Right now, I'm not exactly sure how it balances out, whether it's like that or whether it's two different circles. That on one circle, right, it's the 2, 3, 4, and then on the other circle, it's 6, 7, 8. And there's possibly a third circle over here, right, which everything rotates off of, just like that. And it just so happens that Mars, right, has 2 moons, and Earth has 1 moon. So almost like we communicate, okay, of oneself of who we are, but yet we have 2 lobes or 2 parts of our brain. Even in the deck of cards, when you look in the deck of cards, every card from the 4 on, right, except for the picture cards, is going to have 4 corners. We're not going to use the number 3. Okay, in the cube, yes, but in the cards, no. The reason for that is the 4 can replace the 3 when the ace is located in this position, because both the 4, the D, Mercury and Mars are inside of here, and so is Earth and Venus. All of these fit inside this one over here, right? When you come to this one over here, they add moons. They had no moons here as an expression card. They add the moon on into the gateway of the heavens, right? And at the 7th gate, there are 2 moons here. The Queen and Mars is going to take up this representation over here. Earth is going to take up this representation over here. They're both going to connect to the number 6 over here, who we were on day 6. And when that happens, right, the 3 worlds ignite. So the mirror enters into, instead of what is 6 and 4, 10, or 5 and 5, 10, or A, B, C, D, 10, or any which way you're going to get to 10 to understand it, your basis of this, okay, of this R, your 18th letter, is 6, 6, and 6. So the J inverts to here. You end up with the heavens 8. The invert on the cube of 6 is 8. Now we have to count 10 and 8 to count this. In French, they say it this way. They don't separate it. They do 10 and 8. It's not one number. It's 2 numbers. So they're automatically telling me A, B, C, D, the mirror world, into the heavens of Reich. 6, 6, 6. If I did it twice, it'd be 2 by 9. The IT system in the sun. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4. This is the female that will create this IT system. Then over here in my second world, I go 36. I need the 2 worlds. Now the 3 worlds brings on 54, the numeric value to the sun, the same as the female sex organ, and it divides up the alphabet at this point. How does it divide up the alphabet? A, B, C is your base, right? You need A and B to create C. The reverse of C is X. The reverse of C is D. The reverse of D is W. The heart of the alphabet is M and N, which is the 13th and the 14th letter. 1 and 3 is 4. 1 and 4 is 5. So if I told you that everything stems from it, where am I right now? over here, 5 and 4. Here's that 5 and 4 to express that reality. So when I show you, let me move over this cable here. So when I show you this marking over here, right, what happens is you're going to use the 13 and the 14. Now you're going to say to yourself, well, what is this? Well, this one's the sun and this one's the moon over here. The male, for some reason, seems to move into here, and the female joins with this one over here, following the moon cycles. I'm going to explain it in a minute. Nine and 3 equals to 12. Into the birth, into creation, into the heavens, into the mirror. In your creation, into creation of the half-life, the day of man, Earth and Mars, Pluto, Saturn, Pluto. I like to call this the day of man, coming into the 7th gate, coming into the Luna. Six and 7. It's just ironic that Mars is 51, right? Equaling to 6. And Earth is 52, coming into 7. But in reality, Mars looks like the 4th planet and Earth looks like the 3rd planet. So automatically we pick up what is Uranus and Earth to what is Mars and Saturn. So we have 3 and 7 equals to 10, to 4 and 6 equals to 10, right? And usually I like to express that as this. 10 will show me we have a heart, and then we create my circumference around the heart. That's my 10. 7, 3, 9, 1, 4, 6, 2, 5. When it's Mars, right, and I have to run with these numbers, I'm not sure which numbers to do. I don't know if I should do 1, 2, 3, 4, if I should run it up to 8, because Mars is 2 cubed, right? And that would be 8. And I'm wondering if we can run Chaldean that way, right? In which U, V, and W in Chaldean is 6, 6, and 6. To note that the reverse of 6, 6, and 6 on the cube is 8, 8, and 8, but not in Chaldean. It doesn't work that way. I've never really worked on it hard enough to know. The reason for this is when you have your Bat's Mitzvah, right? You finished your 12th year and you move into your 13th. And when you have your Bar Mitzvah, you finish your 13th year, you move into the 14th year. This becomes the moon because mathematically this becomes 3 and 4 equals to 7G, right? 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, okay, equals to 7 and 12 equals to 1905. So right away, I know I'm in the E world. Right away, I know I'm bringing 2 worlds together. I'm bringing the 10 world together. Okay, the 19 total times 3 equals 57, and birth moon is 57, but when you invert it, it becomes electric. Electric is number 75, and it just so happens when you play darts and you get the red, okay, 50, and the green, 25. In actuality, it's telling you about 76. 27 and 49, red 27, green 49. 4 and 9, 4th and 9th finger. I'm born in the mirror world. 13, the gateway in the moon into the E world. Why am I bringing 2 worlds together or connecting them together? I hear the cat at the door, so just give me a second. Come. No joke. Let's go. Let's go. No joke. Come on. Let's go. No joke. Let's go. Come in. Come in. No joke. Come on. I opened the door for you. Hey, buddy. Let's go. No time to get timid. Let's go. Okay, I'm shutting the door. That's it. Am I making you suffer? Okay, we're going to get back to this video now. Okay, so the other thing about this is we talk about our periods and our moving cycles are 3, 1, 3. Right. So if we go 31 and 13 and 31, or 13 and 31 and 13, this will give me, okay, 75, and this will give me 57. So when I say electric 75 and I say moon 57, you can see where it comes from. And then you get 444, or you get all 19s multiplied and added, you end up with all 19s. Now here's where it comes to the 1 and 8 is 9. 2 and 7 is 9. 2 and 9 is 11. So now I have 9, 11. 3 and 8. 8 and 1, 8 and 3, 9 and 11. 2 and 7, 2 and 9, 9 and 11. And then we have the 4, 5, which is 9, and the 5, 6, which is 11. We have the 3, 6, okay, which is 9. We have the 4, 7, right, which is 11. So this is the way it all sets up, and we have 9, 11, and we're connecting the two systems. One of the things about this is when you're creating 9, you never use the 9, but the total is 9. And when you're creating the 11, you never use the 1, but your total is 1 and 1. And this is how you bring the worlds together. Right over here, 1 second, I'm going back out to see if I can bring up the cat. I'm going to look at what's been written down. You know, I'm a little bit all over the place. And that's the way it is. Maybe one day, and hopefully one day, and there will be a day that I will bring it all together, that everybody will be able to get a clearer picture. I also want to show you how we are going to put a skeleton, right, to show how the moving parts of the zodiac move. Forget about the names, right? For now, I need to know what their positions are, basically, and not even their position, their name, okay, the position in the zodiac sign, and then we know how the numbers work, how the numbers move, right? Come on. Well, this will get her in. And there she goes. Okay, up on the table. Let's go. Come on. Come on. You're good girl. Good girl. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Hey, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm a lucky guy. I'm a very lucky guy. I got to go out with the dogs today. I get to come home to the kitty cat. I don't know if I should say my kitty cat or the kitty cat. Hello, Joshua Holman. Peace. Okay, so let's see. They use 12, 9 for endings. When you run 180 degrees, you only run 90. So the T is 90 and 180. So if we're living in a world of 360, but I is who we are is 90, 90, 90, 90, or we have to spread it wide, right? And run 90, 90, 90, 90. And there's an area space. When you put 4 circles together, there's an area space opening and a separation. Unless you hold these 2 circles together, when you bring these 2 circles together, these 2 on this side will be further apart. So it might be going in, and then this one goes in, unless it's 2 different systems. I have to think about it and chat it out. I'm quite sure you know what I'm talking about. So let's go back to look at the ABCDs again, okay? Let's go back to look at ABCD. So we actually begin according to this, right? According to this, it's A, E, and I, right? This is 1, 5, and 9. The 5, right? The 5, according to everything these are the instruction cards. These are all instructions, right? So we can see in these instruction cards, because all we're doing, this has nothing to do with life. This is to do with everything that comes from life, right? Everything that's ever been created. Look at me, I create. Look at me, God didn't tell me to do anything. right? I know what's right and what's wrong. So we have here and we have here. We have these four corners, right? And then we have these four corners. So all we're left with is A, B, C, D. We're only left with 4. We're left with less than, when we come into this world, 1.25, right? 1.25, remember that number, right? 125 and 625 and 125 and 625. When you start multiplying 5 by 5 by 5 by 5, once you get to the third 5, it's 125. Then it gets to be 625. Then it gets 3,125. And then it gets 15,625 and so forth. Okay, so that's that. So now when you look at your 9, right, you don't come into this world with any moons. So they take 6 and they add for you a connection. So you play the football game, you get the touchdown, and boom, look at that. You got the extra point. Then when you come into the heavens, right, you come into the heavens, and within the heavens, look at that. Now there's 2 moons. It just so happens that the queen has 8 and 8 eyes. The jack has 6 and 6 eyes. The king has 7 and 7 eyes as the setup of 3 and 1, where the jack has a setup of 2 and 2, and the queen has a setup of 4 and 0. The queen has 4 cards where all of them have 2 eyes. The king has 3 cards that has 2 eyes and 1 card that has 1 eye, equaling to 7. The jack has the jack of spades and the jack of hearts, each have an eye each. There's 2 cards with 2 eyes and 2 cards with 1, leaving it for 6, 7, and 8. It just so happens that the low side that we spoke about, the ABC equaling to 6, that the BCD, right, equals to 9, to where ABCD equals to 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. It just so happens that these two equals to 15 times 1.5 equals to 15. And when you play blackjack, the game of 21, or how about 7, 8, and 6 equals to 21, noted to be for the jack, the queen, and the king. 11, 17, and 10 for the letter in the alphabet. Although they say jack, although they say queen, although they say king, these two together, right, plus 62 will equal to 87. These two together will equal to 103. It just so happens it's JC, creation of Jack, JC, Jesus Christ. Also for September, where they mention in September, right? They bring 2 worlds together by starting with the S, and they mention number 7 in the 9th month, in the 40th week, or on the 273rd day of the year, in which in a leap year, it falls on the 29th day of the 9th month, other than what it usually falls on the 30th day. And that is into your 40th week, and that's when the child is born. If it goes halfway through, it reaches 277. 77 is power, it's matter. And then 77 are going to create. And the only one to get with 77, it's 6 and 1 equaling to 7. We're going to connect to the 7th gate when we get to this one over here. You remember I spoke to you about 5775? Well, this is 7, this is 5, and this is 5, and number 6 connects over here. When 6 and 6 connect, you automatically take this piece in over here, and it creates an 8 between them. 66 connects 57. 5775. Right? So we got the 6, 7, and 8, and the 6, 7, and 8 goes over here. 6, 7, and 8. And then over here, 2, 3, and 4. So what is equivalent to here is here. Here is 9, and here is 21. There are equivalent. I and you. The higher side is when you come into the world, with alpha beta bringing you into the world, and it is 21st when you come in. It is first, and it happens again at 21st. So it's at 1 and it's at 3. First you come in at 1, and here you're a supporter of the Venus worlds. You're a supporter of the gateway of 420. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2, although it equals to 8 and 6, equaling to 14. Okay, the other ironic thing about this, not only does the gate separate, but if you look up the game of craps, right, they will show you the same thing. And the odds they will give you here is when you put down 6 chips, they give you 7 for a winner. The cube splits on 8 and 6 to where it's 1 and 5, to where it's 2 and 6, to where it's 2 and 6. Sorry, I didn't want to do 2 and 6. Let me just rewrite that. To where it's 2 and 4, right? To where it's 5 and 3. See, this equals 6, this equals 6, 8, 8. To where it's 4 and 4, to where it's 3 and 3. And everything can be found pretty simple, that if I flip this over, I'm going to have 6, 2. To where that if I went to 2 and 4, I'll have 5 and 3. It's no magic trick, right? And if I have 4 and 4, I'm going to have 3 and 3. No magic trick here. That when I have 5775, right, is when I have 1 and 6, right? When I have 1 and 6, sorry, not 1 and 6. When I have 1 and 5, right? The opposite is 2 and 6, right? If I add up 2 through 6, it equals to 20. When I add up 1 through 5, it equals to 15. The letter T, the letter O, the reverse is G, the reverse is L. The year 2015 is the year 5775. Number of moons that pass through, 75075. You notice they're both 12 and 12, right? 12 and 12, 14 in the center, 12, 14, 12. 353 Electric Company. In order to bring this, right, to its base, we need this number here. The reason for that is we need to find the center of the diameter, so we must total 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? If we want to find and go to the center of something, we're going to go to 4. So we're going to use the 147 basis of our findings. So we always want to equal to 1. So if we're going to go equal to 1, right, and it's number 1, we're going to get 9. If we want to go to 4, 1 will be with 3. If we want to go to 7, 1 will be with 6, right? But we can also do 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, all go to 1. Then over here, what we can do is to go to 4 is 2 and 2, right? But we can also go 9 and 4 equals to 13. 1 and 3 is 4. We can also do 8 and 5 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. Now, if we want to go to 7, we can go to 2 and 5 equals to 7. We can go to 3 and 4 equals to 7. We can also go as it's 25, right? 2 and 5 equals to 7, or 34. The other way to equal to 7 is 9 and 7 equals to 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. And 8 and 8 equals to 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. These are your basis, the 7 months of 31 days, the 4 months of 30 days, and the 1 month of Valentine's Day. When we start the year off, we start off in February 29th. And when it ends, we end on February 28th, 4 years later. That's our cycle. We begin and we end. So we're in between what zodiac sign when we're bringing in that reality. So let me read in. Hello from North Carolina. How you doing? I think I mentioned your name before. What are you looking at? What actually is the question? 3, 6, and 9. You want to see another thing about 3, 6, and 9 now that we got to that area space. What I do is I find out the missing pieces or what is not shown to me, a reality that is right in front of us, but no one's ever told because it really doesn't fit anywhere. There's no truth, there's no story. So I learn about where the numbers show up and different stories that come from it. by adding words that equate to the numbers, and then find different ways to get to the numbers and the values of the numbers to give it more, to give the, this is a skeleton. We live in the skeleton, everything's a skeleton. So, yeah, there was a question. Yes, 3, 6, and 9. So here's a little bit about 3, 6, and 9. That when we're using, right, when you're dragging numbers, right, when I call dragging numbers, the number system, right, over here. So the minute I get to the fourth one, we start over again, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4 go together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. So 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. If I want to do 7, 5, 3, I'll do 7, I'll do 5, and I'll do 3, right? And then there's separation within these numbers. So let me show you this again. So I don't use, no, one more time here. I don't use, if I use all the lines, if I connect all the numbers, what do you have? You have a painted picture with all the color on it. What I do is if I can draw 4 lines, I'm only going to draw 3. If I can draw 6 lines, I'm going to draw 5 lines, all the combinations of 5. Then I'll do all the combinations of 4, then all the combinations of 3, then all the combinations of 2, because those are my possibilities. So I look for these possibilities to understand. So what happens here is you can see it rotating. You can see on the left side, you can see I connected 963 with 285. And in this one, it's pointing towards the bottom. Note the 432, right? You remember what I told you about 432 on one level? The next one, you can see I connected 147, right, with 258. Also to note that they reflect each other. And the reason for that is 7, 1, 4 equals to 12. 8, 5, and 2 equals to 15. The reverse alphabet, 12 is 15, right? And on the last one, okay, these are a little bit different. The 147 equals to 12, and the 963 equals to 18. It's 1.5 times the difference. So you can see that that is a Mars, they're running the Mars cycle of 147 to our creation, okay, birth on the 6th day, our 666 creation. So you can see there's 3 6s because we're constantly rotating. So let me go back and see what else. Well, you know what? What is super smart? All we're actually doing is breaking things down and looking at the equations, right? I mean, if you want to talk about hockey, there's 3 periods, and then we're going to talk about 120 degrees, 3 times 120. If we're talking about a basketball or football, it's 4 times 90 degrees for the 4 periods, except in basketball, we're running things at 12 minutes. Other than in football, we're running at 15 minutes. We changed the scaling of the game. There's a different metric system coming in. It's 1.25, the difference. 512 memory, 256, 4 to the power of what? 4. We have to understand that also. We have different, how can I say it? Different cylinders, different gears. Well, for me, when you know what? When you tell me the strongest of symbols is the circle, of course, I wouldn't know that. I just know if I started from nowhere and I wanted to do something, I would plant a pick in the ground and I would make a circle, and I can make a square outside that circle. And then I can do that again. And then I can find my center, and it's easier to do that than anything else for me, right? So that tells me about that. Rubik's Cube. I'm going to talk about Rubik's Cube in a minute. I'm going to explain that and how that works, or what seems to work. And Saturn Square, if I don't forget, I do tend to forget a lot. Try and remind me, right? Saturn Square, very important, right? What happened with Saturn Square? Okay, I mean, there's so many things that are going on, right? And then there's math. There's what I call star math, and okay, I'm not going to get into everything. There's too much. There's just too much. Okay. Let me just say, okay, the Saturn cube, okay, the strongest circle of K, the orb, ORB, gold, B-O-R, B and R coming together. The bear, it sleeps. O is a part of the Mars system. O is part of the Mars system. A-B, sorry, it's part of the E worlds, okay, of the Mars system, where you bring A, the heart of everything, to B, okay, the house of bait. But B is the complete circle. So there's two areas here, and there's two areas. I mean, there's all the opposite sides. So it's 4 times 2 is 8, but it's the mirror world. And in the French language, they express it because they say 4 times 20. They don't just say 80. They say 4 times 20 to get to 80. But when you talk about 60, they talk about it as a whole. And it all runs in rotation of 3, the same as this calculator, 147258963, and 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to that 6 and 9 from your birth to the day of life on day 6. And you came with the addition of and at the 7th gate. The and sign is on the 7th key of your keyboard. Animal was first, and you came next. And equals to also DNA, in which and the word in French is ET. 25. If you're going to add up 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, that's good enough to tell me about 25. The 25th letter is the Y. It's your creation. It's 3 times. There's the 3 points of the Y, not counting the heart point of the Y. The reverse of the Y is the B. So it's talking about the circumference, right? Alpha, beta, 2. It took 2 to begin with, right? It took the outside and it took the inside. The A splits everything apart. A for ace, 135 equals ace. 84 plus 51, Mars and Pluto come together. They split everything apart. And it gets split apart in the word sun. Numeric value 54. 9 times 6 equals to 54, the sun cube. I'm going to heat up some water over here. Give me a minute. I don't want to forget. I won't forget. I just don't know where I am at the moment right now. We're going to get into Saturn Square. I want to show you how the numbers rotate and how Saturn Square helped me to reorganize the rest of my numbers with the Saturn Square numeric shift, which what you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In Saturn Square, they now started off as 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 6, 1, 8, 1, 6. They shift all the numbers around because in Saturn Square, when you count everything, everything is 15. So by making that shift, all my other equations that don't calculate that way, when I move them in, it's going to make them all as perfect as it turned the numerics of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because if you look at Saturn Square again, listen to the numbers, right? Start up over here is 4, 5, and then down here is 6. So instead of 4, 5, 6 this way, it's now this way. Instead of having 1, 2, 3, it's now 4, 9, 2. But what I'm going to have is when I reach the 2 in this corner, it's going to go 2, 5, and 8. The 2, it's going to say 15. You want me to show you? I can show you it. You can look it up what it is, and I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to show you how I shift all the numbers as well. Because you brought it up, remind me what I want to work on next is show you the difference between 3, 6, and 9 and all the other numbers. To note that every number except for 3, 6, and 9 rotates on 10. 3 and 6 rotate on 4, and 9 rotates on 2. The 2 and the 4, the bunny rabbit teeth 2 to the 4 on the bottom. The creating and separating, the 6 and the 8. Notice this, although it's a solid, it's the same as Rubik's Cube because it's the same as this, as it's the same on the calculator, as it's the same on the ATM. Give me a minute. If you have to go make a wee-wee, go ahead. I'm not going to disturb you. But we are here in the final cycle. Time, as I understand it, on this moon, in the old moon, right, that we were running. We're not in the digital moon. We're in an analog moon. There's not enough area space We can't pull it down fast enough. We keep shifting through the moons between Mars, okay, Earth, okay. We have 2 moons and 1 moon, or the basic three moons, and we can't process through the rest of the moons passing through the system. The zodiac sign and how the pinball of the zodiac works. When we pick up our rest in peace, we also pick up our IP address at birth. And when it enters us on the 92nd day, when the body is sufficient enough in order to receive it, the child that's being born. Remember April 1st. No, there's no you know what? There's no such thing as the probability roulette unless you're looking at it through um, the law. If you watch a croupier roll a ball and you see the consistency of the croupier, is it your time to be in there? Obviously, if you see it constantly in the numbers that you're focused on, then you can play the game. But if you once it falls out of that lineage of your vibration, well, you have to stop. And usually, as I understand it, it's usually no more than the separation of this cube, 2.5 hours. 2.5 plus 1 equals to 3.5, the heart of this cube. That's the greatest distance. 2.5 hours, 150 minutes. We start with $1,500 in Monopoly. Saturn's cube turns everything into 15s, a 10 and a 5. The 5th is an E, the 10th is a J. Je says I. It's part of the I am creation. The I is the 9, the M is the 13. The AM is the male soul versus the E world soul, AME, as in game, as in same, as in blame, as in name. The reason for this is the word soul in French is AME. When you say Sesame Street, you are saying the street of the souls, and all that you see from the garbage can that you throw out when you use your computer, to Grover in the garbage can, to Ernie and Bert, and all the characters, because the moons of Mars are called demons and phobos and phobias. And all the characters have different dimensions of them that we should be looking a little bit deeper into if you want to see more of this story. Not sure what this channel is about. Satan's Cube, Black Star, Satan's Magic Scared. I know you have the probabilities read, numbers of the star system match where everything's connected, and math, learning numbers and letters with tack pens. You know what? Let me maybe put this up there. Do I still have this piece there? Let me see if this shows up. Oh yeah, let me put this at the top. Okay, so let me see, where am I? Reconstruction of the matrix. I barely know what Pythagorean theorem is. Well, guess what? Neither do I, but I'm going to tell you the way I do it. Okay. When I go to the Pythagorean, all I do is I add things up to a single digit. And because I'm allowed to add things up to a single digit, I can also multiply them by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, by 6, by 7. And I look what happens. And I'm going to show you that too. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm going to show you 666. I'm going to show you the dark cube. The letters are characters made up of dots and dashes and angles. the planets 1 through 6, and then their reflection and connection and balance 7 through 9, because it is the seventh that is balanced between us as the gateway to the heavens in which we live, inside the whale, inside the big fish, inside the womb. We are the 9 birth into the heavens, the outside wall of Pluto, the Kuiper belt, keeping the system cool within us. Nero guy. Kirk Richards is where you go for knowledge if looking to Jesus Christ, not Christos. As I guess Trump, you're dragging too low. I think that dude is a little off his rocker too. I'm not sure which dude you're talking about, Emery, but it could be me, because usually things are directed at myself since I'm running the channel. That's fine. Stimulant, crazier than hell. What makes a person crazier than hell? Let me know. I'm reading through these comments here, and when I get through them, I'm going to continue on. And if you want to see where 666 may stem from, where 33 stems from, the words in the beast, and where that might come from, where does 666-888 stem from? Just give me a minute to bring you up to date with this. But like I said, I want to see what everybody has said. And it is basic math. I'm going to answer any direct questions. Ask me the question so I can understand it. And I'm going to move on. And like I said, I'm going through all the comments right now. Y and Z is like A and B, or it's supposed to be. Note that when you end the alphabet, right, you end on the 26th letter. 2 and 6 is 8. It's not 9. The 8 is on the outside, right, of what is on the inside, the 9 areas on the inside. Okay, how do you apply these? You know what? It's only going to be within time. What to know is this. What to know is this. Coming here for 20 years and not understanding why I'm actually what I'm doing it for quite a period of time, until I started to see what the stories that came out of it. And now I know. Now I know. In order to do and read the stories that I tell, it's simple. You don't need a computer. You don't need anything. But if the stories are believable that Earth and Mars are like this, and we live into the E world because of what the cards say, they say we're in the birth in the E world. We live in the heavens at the 7th gate between 2 worlds, interfered with by the moons. Mars is no more further away than Earth. How is it so crazy that everybody follows God, but yet all they have is stories? I show you how to see the truth in those stories, to know that there is a creator, to know that you are the last one choosing. And only by your choice will something get done, and not by the choice of somebody else. So you happen to be the God gates of the Omega Divide, the last decision at the end of your fingertips, whether you were forced into it or decided on your own. Where these two device that I hold in my hand that look like Rubik's Cube, that can be referred to Rubik's Cube, can also be looked at as the house of the Kaaba, where 2 billion people who bend down every day and don't know that is the home of the house of Bait, 9/11, or how about 7/9/11 and 13? Sorry about that. 7/9/11/13, moving like a rook. I'm going to show you the 10, the 11, the 7, and exactly what's inside these cubes. But let me move on. You sound frantic. You should really consider getting some help. Has anyone chat made a square? Has anyone in chat made a magic square on their own? Well, let's see this. I'm going to put a little hot water. I'm not sure. Just give me a minute. We're going to do this. Let's see if this works out, right? Since you can't see me and the camera at the same time, maybe I'll be cheating, right? But you'll never know. And I just want to show you. So why don't we do this? And we're going to do so this is what we're going to do. 6 and 2, 8 equals 6 and 2. 5 and 3 equals 8. 1 and 7 equals 8. The lower side, 8 and 3 equals 11. 2 and 9 equals 11. 7 and 4 equals 11. Now I want to switch this around. Okay, see this one position over here? I'm going to do it this way. Let's see what happens when we move it around. It's going to be a shuffle. What I'm doing is the Saturn square shuffle, right? And I'm going to show you the basis of Saturn square. I'm going to show it to you over here. I just show you how to manipulate the numbers, right? And I was taught this, right, by what's actually happening right now in the world. So the basic thing for the numbers is 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 1, 7, right? So I'm going to take those numbers, put them in these positions over here, right? So you see number 5 is over here, and the 5 has to go, this one over here is the first position, so it has to go here. I'm going to put a 5 here. See this, did I do this right? Okay, so this is the 8th position, right? This is the 8th position over here. I have to take what's in the 8th position and put it in the 8th position over here. Let me see. Did I do that right? Hold on a second. Okay, what was in the 8th? No, it has to be the 4. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. Sometimes I don't forget. I don't remember when I'm doing it live because this is the 8th position. It has to go here. The first position, okay, the first position, what is here, has to go here. So that would be the 5. What is in the 9th position is going to go in the 2nd position. So what's in the 9th position? Hold on a second. Just give me a second. What is in the 9th position will go here, right? And the 9 is in the 9th position. So we're going to put it, did I get that right? The 9th position moves here. And then the 3rd position, Okay, the third position. Just give me a second. Oh boy. Okay, this is 5. Let me see this. 5, where the 1 is, where the 6 is, we'll get 3. So the 3 goes over here. And then where the 7 is, where the 7th position is, okay, this is where the 7th position is, and the 8 is there. The 8 is in the 7th position. In this position over here, just 1 second. In the second position here is 1, so the 1 is going to have to go over here. This position over here is the 1 position. Okay, the 1 position gets number 4. Wow, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. The 2 goes over here. Boy, the 5th position. What's in the 5th position goes in the 5th position. Is that number 7? The 3rd position, which is, wow, I'm not gonna get this right. Something is definitely wrong. The 3rd position over here is over there. I think, no, I'm not getting it right. I'm not getting it right. Something's not going right. Right. So, wow, I'm a little embarrassed about what I just did. Just give me a minute to refocus. Okay, I just have to refocus. I shouldn't be doing this while I'm looking at somebody else. I mean, while I'm looking at this, this is really bugging me because I usually get it right away, and I'm ripping out the page because I don't like that it's not in order. So maybe everybody take a 1-minute break and let me work this one out. Okay, or all right, you know what? I'm going to go to something more simpler. Okay, I'm going to go to something more simpler. Okay, just to note, I want to show you what this calculator shows me. See the way it shows me 1 and 9, 10, 4 and 6, 10, 7 and 3, 10, 8 and 2, 10. They're all different kinds of 10s. They all tell different kinds of stories. The 1 and 9 connects 2 worlds, right? The 8's going to connect to 1 and 3. The 2 is going to connect to 7 and 9. So in the house of Bait brings me the gateway of my birth. In the heavens brings me the spirit in creation. If you want, we also go 4, 9 and 4, 3. We go 6, 7 and 6, 1, 6, 7, 13, 6, 1, 7, 4, 9, 13, 4, 3, 7, 2, 5, 7, 8, 5, 13. So we have 3 13s where we have 3 7s. So we have 21 and 39, the 2 different worlds coming together. Do you follow what I'm saying? When we connect these, this X here and this over here, and this X here and this here brings 2 worlds together, 9, 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up. I showed you before. I said 3, 6, and 9 are special. 3, 6, 9, 12. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 6, 12, 18, 24. 2 and 4 equals to 6. Unlike what 1 does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Why did I mark this? Well, when I got the 16, 1 and 6 is 7. When I got the 14, 1 and 4 is 5. When I got the 12, 1 and 2 is 3. So my rotation ends up over here. And this is the 10th number, right? 1 and 2 will equal to 3, and then I'm interrupted with 3. And then I go on to 4, 8, 12, right? 7, 2, 6, 1, 4. Did I get that right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and then 40. And this is also the 10th. And then it would be 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9, 5. And then this one is the 10th one. So you can see all the numbers take 10 for a full rotation, unlike 3 and 6. So when I take this motion and understand that ABC equals to 6, When I add D, right, add D equals to 10, I am starting over my rotation again. Remember what 6 does, right? So what I'm going to do is I implement it over here. So 1, 2, 1, right? The house of 1, right? We also have to understand the house of 1. Here is my first house of 1. It is the first house of 1, and then the 10th will be my second house of 1, and my 19 will be my third house of 1, and my 28 will be my fourth house of 1, right? I need to go through my 3 and then my mirror. First is the lower, and then is the higher. The full, it takes 10 for just one base. It takes 36 inches for 1 yard. It takes 10 yards, right, for a first down. So we also have to look at the football, how it works, right? In order to get 12 inches, it's going to take 4 by 3 or 3 by 4. It's either 4 quarters or it's 3 periods. Either it's 4 dice, we're going to equal to 3 moons. Every moon cycle is 28 by 3. Every dice cycle is 21 by 4, both of them equaling to 84. So when we put that number into this, we end up with 58, 62, 66, 70, 74, 78, 82, 86, and 90. That's your first part. Now, the second part is going to be the reduction, right? So we're going to go over here. It's going to be 13, 8, 12, 7, 11, 15, 10, 14, and 9. So when I add up this one and this one, or this one and this one, or if I add up this row here, 2, 6, 12, carry the 1, 7, 14, 22, 222. You can see the star. Can you see the star? When I total all these, I will get a total of 666. But if I only do this one here, and this one here, it's going to equal to 222, 222, 222, or what is 888. But when you put the star formation, okay, when you put it into star formation, right, here's the basic star, but it locks in at 8. It locks in at 8. I'm going to show you that it should be rotating like this. Here's one part of the star. Here's the second part of the star. They're not the same. Then there's the third part of the star, and then the fourth part of the star. Each one of these are different, telling a different story, but they all equate to 666. When you multiply it, it equals to 216, let's say 0.0. The diameter of the moon is this. When you add them, it equals to 234. 432 hertz is our vibration. And to cap it off, it's 8, 7, and 6, Jack, Queen, and King. When you look at this over here and you want to understand number 22 or number 33, here is number 33, here is number 33, here is number 33, and here is number 33. Right? Now, I can move these numbers around because Saturn Square will tell me and show me how to move these numbers around. But if you take a look, 13 and 15 is 28. 7 and 12 is 19. 28 and 19 equals to 47, time beast. 9 and 7 equals to 16. 10 and 15 equals to 25. 2 and 5, 7. 1 and 6, 7. So now I'm going to see if I can move it, right, into, I want to see if I can move this into Saturn's position. Let's see if I can do this. I got to be real quiet for a minute, right? Just give me a minute. Okay, what was in this position over here was 86, and it moves over here. What was in this position moves over here. What was in that position moves over here. What is that position moves over here. This position stays the same. The second position moves over here. That's 62. The third position moves here. The fourth position moves here. And the ninth position moves here. So let's see what we get now. 4 and 8 is 12, and 1. 6 and 7 is 13, and 9 is 222. 6 and 4 is 10, and 2 is 12, and 1 is 9, and 7 is 16, 222. 8 and 4 is 12, and 1, 21, 222. 2, 6, and 6 is 12, and 1, 7, 14, 222. 2, 6 and 9, 15, and 7, 222. 8, 8, 16, and 6, okay, 22 and 2 equals to 14 and 8, 222. 8, 10, 12, 1, 7, 15, and 1, 222. 6 and 6, 12, and carry the 1. 8 and 7, 15 and 7, 222. 8 by 222 equals 1776. And this is what happens when you move the numbers into the star system position of Saturn square, where each one of these are telling a different story. In this one over here, it's talking about 3, 5, and 7 to 4, 5, and 6 to 2, 5, and 8. But when I move into the Saturn square position, it tells me a different story. So when I reduce this over here, and I go back to 7, 9, 8, 12, 11, 10, it's going to change the whole structure because it's no longer the way it was, right? Let me see if I did this right. Okay, so now when I do this, this becomes 24, this becomes 33. So I add up this one, it becomes 33. I add up this one, it becomes 33. I add up this one, it's 33. I add up this one, it's 33. So I get 8 times 33 equals to 264. Is that what it is? 8 times 3, 264. This, I believe, has something to do, this is 528, right? 528 runs down here. I have to remember what 528 does. 5-2 is Earth's heaven. 8-5 is the matrix. Silver and gold come from that. I'm just trying to see what else it's doing in that formation. So we can see what we've done over here, the 666, the 1776. So we can see it's all built into these basic numbers. And anybody can do this. Anybody can do that. If you want to know how, I can slow down just a little bit and show you where it comes from, because everything comes from here. If you play the rook, right? If you play the rook in the game of chess, right? If you play the rook in the game of chess, you will be moving over 2, down 1, over 1, down 2, down 2, over 1. And when we do that, we start at 1, we go up 2 over 1, 1 and 8 is 9. We go to here, we go up 1 and over 2, 9 and 4 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. We go over here, we move over 2 and 1 down is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. We go to 8, we go to 8. We move over 1 and down 2, 8 and 3, 11, 1 and 1 is 2. We move over to 9, we go down 2 over 1, it becomes 11, becomes 2. We go from here, we go down 1 over 2, it becomes 7. We go here over 2, up, we get 7. We go over here, we go over 1 and up, we get 9. So it's always 7, 9, 11. Now we want to start from what we get in the center. There's a whole story going on, playing everything from the center. We can talk about that also. Also to note that the connection of these numbers are also going to tell us different stories. $180, 18, the letter R. 18, 18, 18, 54, the sun cube. 54 is love. 54 is the sun. 54 is the female, it's a female sex organ, right? And 63, by the way, 54 female and 63 is the male. 3 by 21, 63. 3 by 18 equals to 54. So it seems like 18 is played out on the cube, and so is 21. 21 is the entire cube. 18 is 3 and 18 for 3 cubes. If you have 3 cubes of 6, it's 18. The minimum is 3. C and R. So let me see. We have Windows equals 88. That makes, I'm not sure if I understand that, but pity and scorn. Looney Tunes, much hidden there. Bugs Bunny. Washington, okay. George starts with 57 and ends with 75. 12, 12, or 3 and 3. It just so happens O and R is 6. George is actually 3, 6, 3 in George. That's your base creation in the house of bait. It actually talks about the sun and the moon, right? 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is going to be 18 and 9, 27, 18 and 9, 27. And then you're going to, because you have to do it on both sides, that's 54. 27 is red. Welcome to the board, Mr. Emery. Mental illness on full display. What does that mean? What do you detect? Do you detect the differences on how I think, right? And how you judge people based on what? Based on what, right? Based on what? What are the qualifications to be a mental illness, a full display textbook study of someone who does something different? Anyways, you're free to stay. You're free to go. All up to you. Haters are free to go watch something else. My black hole Windows G8 portals, I can access the other side. White space 65, 44, 109, and not 110. So if it's not 110, just remove the 1. If it's 108, remove the 2. If it's 107, remove A and B or remove C. If it's 106, remove 4. But if you remove 4, right, you become 106. Is that the only way, or do you remove AC? Anyways, Emery, you're welcome to stay. It's no big deal. So Chikov and Emery both have the same vision of this channel. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I'm not here for everybody. I'm only here for those who want to play the game, because that's all we're really doing, is we're playing the game. The story it tells is the story it tells. If you see different or you can't put it together, if you say I'm wrong that when I put something together, show me, join me. I am not in this alone. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So we have 43, 53, 66, 77, 87, 89, 94. Twinkle, twinkle in the sky. 94 is Uranus, the birth and Mars. Little star and not big star. Big equals to 16, 18 for big. I like that. Big is 18. And little, I never did little, and big is 3 letters. Little is 6 letters. So we have 21 and 40 is 61, 73, 78. So the one spirit of the 8 heaven or Raish is in big. Little gives me the heaven's gate, the king and the queen. 7 and 8, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. Or if we want, we can multiply 3 times 26 in order to get to 78. We have to understand how we can get there. Or 4 times 4 times 19 plus 2. So we're missing a part in the house of Bates because we're missing 2. I have to figure it out between 3 and 4. The 3 and 4 are the separation between the two sides, the 3 and 4, and then it splits again on the upper side at 23 and 24. This is where we are right now. I'm going to see if I can show you this. 22, 23, 24, 45, 46, and 47. It's a little weird, right? But 23 and 46, this is double. This is not double, and this is not double. If I double this, I'm 1 less. If I double this, I'm 1 more. The 23rd, okay, was B. Benjamin Ben Harrison. And now it's K. Harrison Harris. 811881919. The movement of the 1 and 8 is sitting right over here in this cube. It's the 1 dot centered to the 8 that's around it. The opposite side is the 6, right? It's the house planet. We reside in the heavens. We're born into this body. We still reside in the heavens 8 and the 9 birth, although you don't see them, right? The 8 and the 9. Here's the 8th letter. Here is the 9th letter, right? We're in the doghouse, born into the sun. H-I-N-Z, create this and create this word. This one over here is 73, the same as Nibiru. If I get great properly, I think it equals to 26 and 25 equals to 51, and so does Mars equal to 51, right? Mars is equal to 51. This one over here jumps into 69. When it jumps into 69, we have 68, and we have 70 that comes into that roll. 5, 6, 7. See over here where it was 9, 1, 2. Here it's 4, 5, 6. And then over here it becomes 9, 1, 2. Then over here it becomes 5, 6, 7. The next one is at 92 and 91 and 93, and it becomes 1, 2, 3. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, so we can see what happened in this rotation over here. Right? Now, can I have gone a little bit lower with this? Well, I would have went right here where the beginning is, because D is my mirror. My reflection of this, okay, is 23 and 24 and 25. My reflection of this. The center of the alphabet comes out at 13 and 14, or 13.5. ACE. Breaks the alphabet, and it breaks it on orange, right? Orange equals to 60. It also equals to 15 plus 45, and the vowels that go along with 45 is Fox 45, noted to be 6, 6, and 6. The 24th letter, the 15th letter, inside of Mars and the divided gate, the coming of man, Fox. The reverse of that is 888, and none of this is my decision other than knowing that if I have 8, I have 40. If I have 8, I have 51, 6. If I have 8, if I have 6, 3 and 3, 6, I have 44, 8. If I have, let's say, 5 and 3, 8, I have 42, 6. This is where the gate divides right over here. Electric company, the cap to electric company, any craps. 1 and 2. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2, 5. These two come together. The reason for this is these are all next levels, right? These are all next levels. 20, 23, 46, 69. How do I bring it to the lower level? Let's see, I did this. There was a number that worked with this. I wanted to take a look at something. One second. I wonder if it's in here. Hold on a second. Let me see. This here, okay, 1 and 6, 7, 4 and 9, 13. Here it's 13, 13 and 18. 1 and 8, 9, 1 and 3, 4. Over here it is 19. And over here it's, I think it's 19 and 24. Did I get that right? 19 and 24. Over here, 1 and 9, 10. And over here is 24, 2 and 4, 6. So 1 and 6. So what this is 7, and over here is 13. And then 7, well, I don't have the 7 here because here it's not the same color. It changes. The number 1 switches, right? It goes positive, negative, number 1. 1, 10. 10 is black. 19. 19 is red. 28 is black. There's no 37. We start all over again. The 12, 12, 12, 12, the 13th always starts over. Let me move this one away. I just wanted to say that the same initials, KH and BH, all running 8181, 81, 8119. The heavens of the spirit and bringing two worlds together. The 18 and 19 are unlike the other numbers. They're unlike the other numbers. In French, we say 10, 8, and 10, 9. I hate being this messy. I hate it. But we don't know if they're saying minus or plus. So even though it's 19, it can still be 1. Even though it's 18, it can still be 2. So we have A and B coming between 19 and 18. Noted that 19 and 18 split the 360 degrees. Also note the alphabet shift. Now, I know I'm throwing a lot of things out here tonight. I'm a little bit tired. Maybe I'm a little out of order, but that's okay. To note that the 360-degree alphabet shift, which means instead of running alphabet A1, I now run alphabet A6, and I finish with Z31, leaving out A, B, C, D, E, and leaving out 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I'm leaving out 5 and 5, and only using the center 26. Reconstructing that N, instead of being the 14th letter, it is the end that brings both worlds together. The letter N brings both worlds together. So N is connected to M as being the heart of the alphabet. So if I go to M, the M, right? The M, the 1,000 Roman numerals, and the N come together, right? As the 18th and 19th number, bringing everything together into 360 degrees. 18 and 19 is 37, creation of that seventh gate, right? Inside the creation of man, 36, 666, 6 threes. Also to note, when we run at threes, the pig's pregnancy is 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. To note that the chicken egg hatches at in the 8th week. It takes 21 days for the chicken egg to hatch. And then I forget what it was about the 8th week. But anyways, it's 21 days for the chicken egg to hatch. Normally, on average, from the beginning to the end, when a chicken lays an egg, they'll usually lay for 6 days, and then they won't lay for 1. Basically, on average, over the time span of that hen that's laying the eggs. Okay, if you have any questions at all that you can't follow, please ask. Sometimes I'm a little quick where I got things from. Stop me in my heels. I have to go back. I'd be glad to help you because at the beginning, I mean, right now we need more than just me at the helm, right? Hello, Miss Watkins. Well, at least that's what the picture shows. Believe Eve 7:11. This is 7:11. When you're looking at this, think of it like this. think that every face of this is exactly like this. And note that Rubik's Cube, right? Rubik's Cube is the next step up. Rubik's Cube shows that every corner has 3 colors, right? Rubik's Cube shows, right? Those are the 3 colors. So Rubik's Cube, you know what's funny? The other day I was looking for the 3 colors. I couldn't find them, right? And inside is 2 colors. To note that when you're looking at Rubik's Cube, right? When I go all the way around Rubik's Cube this way, and then this way, there are 6 cubes. There are 6 cubes, and there are 6 cubes, equaling to 18 cubes that go around the 3 cube. Rubik's Cube takes up a 3 cubic area space, 27. Although there's 26 cubes, there's one center heart that controls 6 single colors. It's a controller. The single controller counted as itself is one area that controls 6. If you count it, it's 6 plus the one area, equaling to a total of 7, although it's 6. So there's 18 that go around that one core of one controlling 6 of Rubik's Cube. Hooch with a cooch. Wouldn't that be a coach? Does that say coach? Oh. Jacks or Joker or John. John equals to number 47, but the J was changed from John to Ron. For the heavens that was born, the R letter also looks like a 1 and 2. It's the 18th letter. What can we do at 18? Where does 18 show up? Why should man be the number of 666? Who said it? Who's going to give us the number? Here on the 6th day, when we came here on the 6th day, we came after the animal. And in between the animal and the humans, there was a word, and the word was A-N-D. 1, 1, 4, 4. 1, 1, 4, 4. 1144. Born into the house of Bait. The highest number is 9 plus 2 equals to your 11. Remember that. Born into the house of Bait. Alpha and beta come together, so you know nothing begins until you get 3. So if you come here on 9 and you get 3, and you come here on 9 and you get 3, that 9 and 3 equals to your 12. That's your base low creation. That's your basis. But you don't end up in this world until you get the D. You don't get the 10 until you get A, B, C, D equals to 10. So in that instance, your 9 birth and that 4 equals to 13, knowing that the 13th moon, the 364 days, knowing that the 13th zodiac sign brings you back to the beginning. So does that mean on 13 we get back to the beginning? Do we need an extra cube? To note that 13, or 1 and 3, is also our first rotation and understanding Saturn. Okay, I'm just going to talk. Give me 1 second. Somehow they shut down my camera. I don't know why. I can get this on, but I can't get my camera to start. So just give me 1 minute. They seem to do this quite often. Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Okay. So you see every time that okay. Where were we? I don't remember where I was. There's something to do with the sound. Yes. First and 21st. ST for first and 21st. Also note that when you're first, it's gold. 21st, okay, 2 and 1 equals to 3. So you can see that our beginning may have been 1, but our full rotation is 21st. The same with second. It's not at 12 that we get second, but at 22. And when we get 22, when we relate this, because my work is about games and what stories come from games, in the game of blackjack, where we're all professionals, 22 needs a monkey. Now we have 10 people here. And that's the monkey. The monkey is 10. The monkey is the mirror, because our base creation of our 9 birth and our 3 creation, once you bring the monkey into this, now you have 22. You have busted. You're out. So you got the monkey. Now, no matter what you have, if you have 14, 15, 16, right? And we're going to say we stand on 17, meaning we're always going to get a monkey. So even though we bust right away the minute we go over 21 and 22, we're going to count this up to 26. We never get the 26 because it's just over and it's all 22. Once you pass 21, so the next number is 22. And that 22, the 22nd letter, brings you into the E world for life. You know, Volkswagen, the VW equals to 45. 45 FOX, 45 Fox 45 brings you into the headquarters of 888. 1 added all the way to 36 is 666. But when you crisscross the star of 58, 74, 90, of 62, 74, 86, of 66, 74, 80, of 70, 74, 78, it equals to 888. If you add it up in the style of Saturn square, you will see it will add up to 1776. I'm going to go back and show you. '70, 74, 78, 66, 74, 82, 62, 74, 86. Now, when we do this, okay, note that the crossing star that we created here, if I should do every single line up and down, right, how many different 222s am I going to get? If I do the plus sign, I get 444. If I do 3 of them, I get 666. And if I use all 4 lines, I get 888. If I use 1 line, I only get 222. If I add it up over here, right, 13 and 15 is 28. 12 and 7 is 19. 19, 1 and 9, 10, 28, 2 and 8, 10, 8 and 11 equals 19, 1 and 9, 10. 15 and 10 is 25, 2 and 5, 7, 9 and 7, 16, 1 and 6, 7, 14 and 11, 25, 2 and 5, 7. Where does this come from? Does it look real, or did I make it all up to be perfect? And how did I get it? Do you know? Do you want to know? Do you really care? Because the system was made perfect. I just look for these anomalies that bring everything together. It's not me. It's nothing to do with me. It's the Lord of creation created. It has been transparent, but we had to come here together and work together to show that somebody created this entire system. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so perfect. Right into the zodiac. That's why when I look at the zodiac, if you want to see the enemy sign of 1, it's 7. The enemy sign of 2, it's 8. The enemy sign of 3, it's 9. Then the next row is 10, 11, and 12, which completes it. And when you get to the 10th row, the rabbit and the rooster are enemy signs. When you get to this sign over here where the dragon is, we get to the dog, the enemy signs. And we get to where, look at our day of creation, we end up with a pig. And this entire reality here is +3, +3, +3, +3. And it's all about the pig. It's all about the gateway of 66, where you end up with snake eyes. And it has nothing to do with me, except creation is 30. And if you dice 66 and bet on the 66, it's not a hard way, or you bet on the snake eyes. They bar the 66, but these aren't the same. One is this way and one is this way. 180 degrees and 90 degrees when you're measuring, right? When you're measuring from here to from the center up is 90, right? We measure from the center up. We measured the complete area here, 180, and this measure over here is 90. Just give me a second for why I was saying that. And the same thing happens here when I go 1 to 10 or 2 to 11 or 3 to 12. It's all by nines. And this is how we work all around this mechanism here. Just give me a second to think. Okay, I don't know who he was saying it to, and I'm not really sure who he is. The word sun, S-U-N, equals to 54. The S brings two worlds together. It is the 19th letter. But when it gets reduced, it's the only letter that when it gets reduced, its first level stops at 10. When you say sun, S-U-N, it becomes 10, 3, and 5, right? 10, 3, and 5 equals to 18. When we reduce it again, it becomes 1, 3, and 5, and it says A-C-E. The ace can be designed, okay, to be standing like this, to be standing like this, and to be like this. The legs of the ace are just like your bed. When you go to sleep at night, you lie like this. You cross over to two sides. Your head is in one world, your feet and your soul is in the other world, while your hands remain by your side. Everything is in skeleton form. If you want to tell me you sleep standing up, that's fine. But everybody's born with 5 fingers. The blueprints of creation show 5 and 5, 5 and 5. I don't care if you have nails or you don't have nails. Doesn't matter your shape. It's just the basics of it all. So when you're lying this way, right, you end up with this. When you have that, this is what's up, this is what's down. When you're awake, you're standing up and you're like this. When you look at the back side, this one, when drilled, will come up on this side and it'll show you can create an I. At the same time, you can create a Z. But when you're sleeping, it turns this way, the cube. And now you're spread out 180 degrees. But when you're in the day and up and awake, you're 9. You're 9 height, other than the 18 length. In the heavens you sleep, in the mirror world, and then you awaken during the day. The H and the I coming together. There was one other thing I had in that vision to note, that when it's the 9 in the day, if you try and remind me of this, that when it's the 9 day and you're standing, right, it also becomes the 16 hours. To that, when it is the 8 hours of night, right, you have the 8 hours of night. You also have the 8 or the H letter when you're sleeping, but you have the I letter when you're awake, that you have the 16 hours of the awake to the 8 hours of the sleep. So you take 44 of area space, 4 times 4 equals to 16, 4 plus 4 equals to 8, 8 plus 16 equals to 24. Now you're awake and asleep at the 7th gate. You're like the bear. And the B letter, which looks like the 1 and 3, in which the cycles that we run, the 3 years and the 1 year, and the 3 years and the 1 year, and the 7 days a week, to where we have 3 days and 1 day and 3 days. Or how about the 3 points for the field goal? FG 6 and 7. Mars and Earth, the field goal 6 and 7, and the spirit is 76. 1 times 5, 1 plus 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals 7 and 6, 13. It's 2.5, the 25th letter, or the Y, away from the center of this cube. When you use the Y letter, the reverse is B. We are in the house of bait, the quarter house of bait. 2, 2, 2, 2. But it's noted to be as 4 times 2 equals to 8. And in French, it said 80, 4 20s. So it's 20, 20, 20. But when it's said in French, and I know I jumped on to something else, when it's said in French, right? Okay, 80. When you want to say 81, 81, it almost sounds like you're saying 4 times 21. There is no separation in the 80s with ET like in the rest of the French language. When you mention a 1 other than 11, you're going to say 21, 21st, 31st, 41st. Okay, 51, 68. You use the ET. When you use ET, that language in French becomes AND, as and also can be said as DNA. Now, when you use the and, when you go to the keyboard, right? When you go to the keyboard, it's located, right, on the 7th key. The and sign is located on the 7th key. So we also have to bring into note, I'm getting a little tired. I think I'm a little bit all over the place, but when you look at the keyboard, you can see the 1 has an exclamation point on it. You also note that the telephone has nothing on it. The bank machine, the ATM, has 2 letters on it, the Q and the Z. You also have to note that the 2 has the @ sign. The @ sign is when you're sending an email, you'll use the number 2, the house of Venus, number 2, or also the doghouse as the 11th sign for the canine, our birth inside creation. The rooster, the dog, and the pig. A, B, C. The rooster, the dog, and the pig. As to what can be and is, according to the Chinese zodiac sign, what is the rat could be like the mouse, moving the flesh, which is the arrow, to what is the ox, which would be Venus in the house of bait, right? The ox, you have the pin, right? The alpha rat, the pin in the center, and the ox would be all the way on the outside, right? And then you'd have the tiger. And then you'd have the rabbit. The rabbit is communication, and the pig is also part of our communication and part of our creation. Ham radio versus the rabbit versus the CB radio. We're born into the house AB. Okay, what is CD7 to what is AB3? Our base creation from Mars and the reflection, okay, of Mars and Earth. So let me see where we are right now. The Joker is number 59. There are 2 Joker cards, 118, if we want to look at it that way, or it would be 18 in itself, added up to a single digit. Blackjack, the pirate of the sea. Also to know that the pirate has 1 eye. The king of diamonds has 1 eye. And it's, for me, that is the controller. Okay, that 1 eye controller, where it goes 313 through the king of diamonds. Weed, shrooms, acid, Emery, that's not true for me. I can only speak for myself. Emery, whatever you're doing or whatever, we're not selling anything on this channel. We're just talking numbers. So if that's for sale or something, then I don't think we're allowed to have that here. Hell, 24 and 13 equals to 37. So that's the creation of the gate. Note where 7 goes, right? 7 fits right over here, right? See that? 2 and 6, 5 and 1, right? So 6 and 8. So 7 fits between 6 and 8. They say when people come out and say the dumbest things, first of all, who am I to distinguish if somebody's saying something that's flattering or not, and it's irrelevant to the fact that I come out here and when they're interrupting you, you must be doing something good. I'm here for 20 years. Say as you wish. It's all good. I shouldn't even be getting involved in this, but I am. Black screen. What is black screen? Okay, yes, that was black screen a few minutes ago. Wow, my spelling correct. I'm going to get on and put more stuff into this, but right now I want to see where we are. 9/11. You want to know about 9/11, or did I already do this? Right? When the two systems come together, it's 9/11. To note that the K9, the K is the 11th letter, and well, the 9 is the 9th letter, right? So you get K9. Also, 9/11 is bringing two systems together. Another thing is 9/11 is all 3 buildings that went down on September 11th, right? They all said the same thing. One building had 110 stories, 1 and 1 is 2. The other building had 110 stories, 1 and 1 is 2. Nobody counts the roof, right? When you get onto the roof, it's 111. The heart of 360 is 111. 1 through 36 equals 666, but the core of 18 and 19, where the split of 36 is 18 and 19, 37, right? 17 and 20, 37, and 16 and 21, 37 equals to 111. That the separation, right? Because everything shows up in art, everything shows up in art, especially when you're dividing things up. Right? When you're dividing things up, you see, we reached the 7th gate over here. Not sure if you can see this, right? Number 7, just go below it. There's a square. Well, the 6, the even numbers, jumps over the 5 and the 7, connecting 5, 7, 5 together. That's 17, right? If you notice where the 13 is, where they kiss, the 15 ball is going to be on the opposite side's court over here. We're bringing two systems together, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to bring up this over here, right? This happens to come off the roulette table. If you take a look closer to the bottom right, there's a single row that starts with a Y at the top. Well, it's upside down, right? This is the way it gets connected. I'm not sure if you can see this over here. This area is 8, 11, 10, 13. The reflection is right over here, 26, 29, 28, and 31. The numbers may have risen, right? But the artwork stays the same. So then you can see where the octagons, like if you want to go up a little bit higher, the octagons, right, bring together 2 casings, this row and this row, total is 72. We need a total of 3 casings to bring everything together. So if you notice this area here and the area here, the Y and the X, these are not done on purpose. I'm just following the rules of how the design on the roulette table is, right? To note that, go down a little bit further where the X is over here, right? That's number 23. 2 and 3 equals to 5. Over here where the Y is, X and Y chromosome, right? That's the 14th area. 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, 5 and 5, A, B, C, D connects this area over here. Then there's another way. No, I didn't want to do that one. This one over here. So this is where 7 and 10 come in. So you can see A and I is 10, and B and H is 10, and C and G is 10, and D and F is 10, and your antenna is inside of 5. And the lower world, okay, we have A and F equals to 7. We have B and E equals to 7. So we can see what is connected into the 7th gate and what is outside that 7th gate. But we can see both, okay, that B and E, okay, where the E brings in your birth into the world, and you live between C and D, Earth and Mars. They're 0.5 away from the core of 3.5. That's a single core. Remember, the cube is 3 times. Whatever you do, it's 3 times that number. And then it's 6 because we're going to use 2 cubes. And then it's 9 if we use 3 cubes, but one of them is the birth cube, right? So we have this number over here. The two minds come together. This design over here, you see the way they're lying back. This piece of artwork, okay, is the same thing as this over here. You can see the people, the two people lying down over here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like we showed before. It's the same piece of work. We can look at it a little bit different like this. On the small little picture here, you can see the two Y's that come together, right? The two Y's that come together. And only by them coming together do we get a circle. I'm not sure if we went over this. 42 happens to be a division. Mars is 51. Pluto is 84. 3 cycles of our moon equals to 84. Pluto is on the extremity where it's cold. To run computers, you need cold, you need fans, you need wind. The Kuiper belt is all about that. Pluto plays inside of Jupiter. Pluto plays by another dog. 2 souls interbreeding. 2 souls come together through Pluto. Pluto as 9 is either 2, 3, 4 different ways how to create 9. In fact, you can create 9 by multiplying 9 by any number. Will always revert back to 9. I'm just going to go back to see some of the comments again. So we may have 7 days a week, but in actuality, we don't start until day 8 because day 7 became the day of rest. But when you use the day of rest, the letter R is for the 666. The EST, okay, the E world spirit of time. The S is the 19th letter, right, which is 1. The T is the 20th letter, is 2. So you have to start with 1 and 2, and that's where our base model is. One end of the stick is 1. So imagine if 1 was starting at the diameter, okay, and number 21 was reaching to here, and you went all the way around, right? And then you boxed it in and created your second 21, and then your third 21, each one for the representation of the cube to have 63. That 63 is your 3 by 21, your base creation. Then your mirror creation creates the 84. 4 is 1/3 of 12. 8 is 2/3 of 12. The 2/3 are the BC for our base creation. 2/3 like the 2/3 of day, 16 hours and 8 hours equaling to that day. You can have 3 by 8, 24 to the day, or you can have 4 by 6. 6 and 8 is what divides the 7th gate. So we're working 2 different machines the same way as a car turns, the motor turns and might go at 7,000 RPMs, but then it hits the transmission to the differential and everything. What was spinning this way or what was going up and down this way is now making the wheels turn this way, etc. So again, there's another word that I rarely ever use, and the word is bone. Bone equals to 36 for our creation. They usually refer to the dice cubes as bones. Okay, then we have okay, and then some people like to show all their game over David Birdman. So we have David Birdman. I used to know a Birdman. So man equals to 28, bird equals to 33, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. And it's funny, we live in the belly of the whale, right? The bird is 33. B2IR equals to 27. The reverse alphabet, it's crazy because the reverse alphabet is in IR. The ninth position, right, usually plays from the 5 over here. Here's your 8. The alphabet ends on 626 8. The ninth position plays from inside of here. So the 9 becomes all, your birth becomes all and everything. But in reality, over here, right, it's the 8 alpha playing from the E position, playing in the E world, right? The delta angle of Mars, bringing in our 9 birth into the 7th gate, right? Here is the half-life. 1.5 times 4 equals to 6. When you get a payout in blackjack, it either pays 3 to 2 or 1.5 times. It's the same thing. Well, mathematically, it is also 2 times 3, 2 plus 3. And if you want to use 1.5 times, 1 times 5 and 1 plus 5 equals to the same number. 1 and 5 and 2 and 3 mathematically equal to the same number, right? In a dice cube, when we did this for the day, we also have to understand this. X reverse O. Mathematically, these numbers reverse each other in O and F and create this letter over here, Fox. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6, dividing of the 7th gate of creation, 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 3. Our base creation out of the monkey, right, is exactly how the cube works, right? This cube, okay, matched up against this, and we're going to end this in a little bit. I don't like that. I hate that I'm so messy. I just hate it, right? So what happens is we have 9. So we look at this, and maybe you want to take out, well, just look at it this way, right? But my Rubik's Cube just broke apart. I spun it so many times, right? Spun it so many times to note that every corner is different, right? So there's 3 to the corners. There's 2 over here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, the 28-day cycle of the moon? Maybe. Over here is only 1. So we have 728 plus the 1 area over here, the 29th. What I wanted to say is we have 9 here. So we're going to look at 9. 3, 3, 3. There's 9 and there's 9. Forget it. It's a flat face. Hold on a second. Maybe I can do it this way. Right? See the way Rubik's Cube gets built up? Right? Rubik's Cube is like that. The heart is going to have 18 high that goes around one center area that you do not get to see. 18 and 1, bringing 2 worlds together, that center spot. So what you're going to see now is we have, look, like Rubik's Cube. So let me do it really rough, right? There's 9 here. If I take it apart, look, there's 6. So I have 9. If you look at this, I have 4 sides. This is only the bottom part. I have to have 3 levels. On every level is 9. That's 27. Every face is 9. Every face is 9. So if I do 9 here and 9 here, I have 18. But the cube is marked up with 1 through 6. So I'm going to take the 9 and 9, 18. And show you the way it goes. I'm stopping it here for 1 minute. I'm going into the kitchen. I'm going to boil up some more water. I'm going to come back down here and see what everybody has to say. Fire in the hole, right? You want to know more about the zodiac? The first sign, this sign here, if you're the rat, the next time you're the rat 12 years later, you're no longer under the same roof. It takes movement of 4 movements or 48 years before the rat comes home. 48. Remember that. The reason for that is if you sign up with the rat in the year 1900, 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. In 12 years from now, when it's the rat again, it'll be 1912, except the numbers will add up to 4. And then in 1924, 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 4 is 16. You'll end up into 16. 1 and 6 is 7. The next year, 36 years later, right? In 1936, 1 plus 9 plus 3 plus 6. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 3 is 13, and 6 is 19. 1 and 9 is 10. You're going to come back into your same playing field of the rat. Now, the thing is, that shows me 4, right? 4 elements. It's not showing me 5 elements in that rotation. So we have to see what numbers come back to what to understand the rotation. There's also a numeric rotation. 1, 10, 19, 28, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. Now we have 90, and then, wait a second. Did I get that right? 1, 19, 28, 37, 72, 81, 90, and 99. So it takes 11. And there's 11 men on the field in football. To where CFL, I think you get 12 men on the field. We have to understand why the 3 downs for the CFL and the 4 downs for the NFL. The 4 downs brings us into the mirror world, and the 3 downs keeps us in creation, where the field is at 55. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 is 42, and 13 equaling to 55. So that's when the CFL comes in, unlike the hockey, and also to understand how hockey works in 3 periods of 20 minutes. That when art base creation comes down, it's 3 times 20 or 60. Okay, the 9 or the 69, when we get 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equaling to 69, we only end at 60 because we're the 9. We're not counting ourselves. We're living the 9 inside the 60. If we had to take away the 9 of who we are, we'd end up with 51 plus 9. We live in the vibration 4, 3, 2, in between 5 and 1. We're that birth. We're that BCD birth that has changed over because of the cube to 6, 7, and 8, 21, instead of 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 18 by 18, the half-life circumference, 90 and 180. You know what I'm saying? So if we have hickory dickory dock and the mouse ran up the clock, did the cat chase the mouse? Did the elephant get scared by the mouse? Did the elephant know exactly where the watering holes were? Was the mouse hooked up to your computer moving an arrow? An arrow noted to be the flesh and now reminding me of the dartboard. What is the difference of the dartboard and the pool table? That on the dartboard, we understand that we reside with the bull. We reside in the house of bait. We have the 50 center and the 25 with red and green. 27 and 49 is 76. Remember that 76, how often it's going to come out, right? It's the cap, right? It's the cap to what Earth and Mars are. 7 and 6 and 3 and 4, 10, 10, CC, 100. Did you know that all Roman numerals, right, equal to 5 and 1 only? There is no other. Another thing, 3 and 5 are almost the same, pending the context. You might say a half an hour. Everybody knows half is a value of 5. But you also know that the half an hour is only the 30 minutes. The 100% ABCD to where we are born to BCD 9 to where we come into the life of ABC 6. So just let me see if I can fix the camera from being like it's not in sync. I don't like that. Just let me see if I can get the camera to be in sync. Just give me 1 second. And I want to go get some hot water in the kitchen. Let me see if I get the Logitech out here. Logitech, let me see. It says Logitech tune, so I'm not really getting a good focus. So for those who've never been here before, I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, so I'm just going to maybe put this over here. Let me see if I can put some light on it so maybe you can take a look and I'll explain what's going on. Let me see if I can get a little light. I just want to go warm up some water. Right. I'm going to explain to you what this is. Let me warm up some water. Hold on a second. See that? Great Britain, right? Great Britain. So I'm not sure if you can see this over here, right? You see all this? Maybe I should have started you off with binary code or something. Just give me 1 minute. Right, so you can see there's that one over there when they took the penny off the market. This comes off the roulette. See this one over here? 2012. See the 3 that comes together over here, 3 and 3, or E and 3, 5, 7, 7, 5. But I reverted the 5 backwards. I turned the 7 backwards. The electric moon, when you flip it upside down, creates 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. That's our yin and yang. The formation over there all has to do with the roulette wheel. All right, just give me a minute. I'm going to put this camera back. And even to note, 1 second. That when you put bricks down, right? Moses laid bricks. So when you're putting these bricks down, you're actually saying that it's a gateway, 17Q. It's high 17 or high Q, the design of the bricks, right? That when we put on our houses, there's 2 different kinds, there's many different kinds of bricks, but I'm going to show you in a design. Let me go get the hot water. I'll be back in a minute, right? And then we're going to end the video. I'm going to have to get to bed. Yeah, okay, I'm back with my tea. Let me catch up with a few of these messages. Okay, so Here's one of the things. When you put the bricks on the wall, right? You put the bricks down like that. And I have to follow the square paper, okay? The order of the small square paper. These are my cells, the dictators. So now when you look at this, right? See the way you have the half cell, it starts here. Here's your 5. Then on this side, right? Then on this side, you create your 2. So you have your 52. It also looks like a TV. You know that the reverse of T, right, is G. You know the reverse of V is E. Did you know if I did that in numbers, it'd be 2022 and it would say 5G and would say 5G TV. So when we create the next part about it, right, is we're going to create the H. So we create, you notice we create the I and the H, right? The H holds above and below, but the I is the bricks in between. So this is where we get the B and E is what is 5 and 2. And then the H and I, which is 8 and 9. The reverse of 5 and 2, okay, is 58. The reverse of 89 is 21. 8 and 2 is 10. 9 and 1 is 10, 5 and 5 is 10, 8 and 2 is 10. The next sector of this, right, is going to be 8 and 5 equals to 13. 2 and 2 is 4. What am I doing? I need to come back into formation of 1, 4, and 7, right? Just to note that 47 is time. 47 is beast. 74, right, is the heart of Jupiter. How so? 5, 10. Okay, so let me keep this here. 5, 14, 23, 32. 3 and 2, 5, 2 and 3, 5, 1 and 4, 5, 5. Totals 74. It's the heart of numbers, right? And this is going to equal to energy. But since it equals to beast, guess what? This word is 74, as well as look at this. Muhammad is 74, and look what's inside of it. That's right. There's a ham inside of it. There's a ham inside of this. And here you start off with the cube, right? Here you're going to start off with the cube. 13 and 21. 13 and 21 come together. M and U come together. 34. I don't know why I said the cube. I have to look back and see why I said that, right? M1000. D500. C, remember the reverse of each one is this right over here, right? This is the end of the alphabet of the first part of the alphabet. And if you take a look, we also have L, and then we have X, but X is on the reverse side of the alphabet, reverse of C. Then we have V, and then you have I, 100, 50, 10, 5, and 1. Also note that 1001, 505, 110. The 5 is in the center. 1 plus 0, 1. 5 plus 0, 5. 1 plus 0, 1. 5 plus 0, 5. 1 plus 0, 1. 5 and 1. Inside of all of this are the 432 hertz, right? H and Z, the 8th and the 26th letter. 8 and 2 and 6, 8. Everything is 432 into our birth vibration, right? So we were going over all the cubes. We were talking about the value of the cube, right? This is noted to be what is 11, 11, 11. to what is 777. So this is how we're going to do it. The 1 is opposite of the 7 on the cube. The 1 and 6 are the opposite. So we're going to go 1 and 6 equals to 7. So the 8 and the 3 must come together now. 8 and 3 equals to 11. So we're the 2 and 5. The 2 and the 5 are the opposite. So we get the 2 and the 5 to come together. And then we're going to get the 7 and 4 to come together, right? So we can see this numeric value brings together these numeric value, which is going to show you about Jesus Muhammad. Also to note that 5 and 2, the separation at the 7th gate is 3.5 and the difference is 1.5. And that's going to talk about Mars, the rotation. The moon that we have, right, is 2160 or 1440 times 1.5 to equal 2160, which is the diameter of our moon, the cube and the clock. The next one we're going to do, right, is we have 3 and 4 equals to 7. So when you have 3 and 4 equals to 7, right, we also have what is 6 and 5 equals to 11. So we have 7, 7, 7, we have 21, and we have 11, 11, 11 is 33. Now, we look at this cube, it's sitting this way. There's an opposite here and an opposite here. So I have to choose any one of these two. Since the 2 is up and the 5 is down, we're going to go with 1 and 6 equals to 7, right? See that? 1 and 6 equals to 7. And we're going to go with 4 and 3 equals to 7. At the same time, we're going to notice that 8 and 3 equals to 11 to the void. And what is 5 and 6 equals to 11 to the void. So we're going to see 14 over here, and we're going to see 22 over here. So when we talk about the 11, we're talking about this one over here. And we're going to talk about the ring. So when we talk about that, we end up at 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4 equals to 8. When I talk about the singular pole, right, which is 2 and 5 is missing for 7, and then we have 7 and 4 missing for 11, we're going to be working with the 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 equals to 3. So the ring and the pole, right, is going to be 3 and 8. It just so happens gold, club, monkey are these numbers over here. The gold, club, monkey, and when you add it and multiply it, right, it equals to 24 and 11 equals to 3.5. And the monkey club is controlled from the center of this cube at 3.5, right? It takes 8 times 3.5 to equal to 28, which is an ounce. And it's also the rotation of the moon, 28. How about air, right, equals to 28. And inside of this is 1/3 of our rotation of 84 days, equaling to a rotation of the moon, a rotation of 3 moons. So let me look and see what else is going on over here. I wanted to mention, again, I showed you the Roman numerals. I'm going to save this last one piece for 1776, right? And show you this one piece on 1776. Right, 1776. So we have M, D, C, C, 17, 50, 60, 76. M, the first and the last, here and here. So we're going to go M 1000, and we're going to go I 1. So what we're going to do is it's going to be 1, 1. This is going to be, this one over here is 1,000. This one is 1. This is 500, mark 5. This is 5. This is 100, mark 1. This is 100, mark 1. This is 10, mark 1. This is 10, mark 1. This one is 5. So when you look at this, this is your Roman numerals. 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. So if you wanted to keep it like this, right, we can either go 4 and 7 and 3 and 6, right? If you do it to the minus side or to the plus side. But if you do it here, it becomes 8, 5, 8. Or 7, 5, 8, depending if we're going to count the fourth one there. But like I said, we never count more than 3, 1, 3 for 7. We leave the other 2 out. 511 is a towing. And look how perfect 1776 is. Look how perfect it is, right? So if we have 5252, be 3, 4, 5. So we have Mars and Saturn, Earth, and Uranus. What else was there to do? I don't remember. There's probably a whole lot more, but we're going to end it here. It's 2:54 in the morning. I want to really thank you and everybody for being here. I think it was a fantastic night. I'm not too happy with some of my work, or maybe most of it. I'm not sure what I left out, what order I showed up in, but do note that everything we saw today, we can find everywhere. All you need is a calculator, a dice cube, the alphabet, your keyboard, right? To understand how it rotates. I didn't show you the rotation and numbers, and one piece that I did do today that I didn't get to show you. I'm just going to show you a glimpse of it. The setup of this, right, is 333. The setup is 404. 1 to 5 to 9, 1 plus 4 plus 4. The setup on this angle is -2 or +2. So you're adding 1 when you're going to the side, right? You're adding 2 when you're starting 3, 5, and 7, or 2 to 4, or 6 to 8. When you're adding 4, you're going 2 to 6, 4, 4 to 8, 4, and all the way up is 4. So this one over here is going to show you the 1/3, the division of night and day. It's going to talk about hockey, not quarters and the other way in baseball, right? There's baseball. There's also, yes, we forgot about baseball. Another thing, like I was showing you, is the first house, right? First, 10th, 19th, 37, 28, 46, 55. That's all the first house. Different ways to connect. Each one tells a different story. See this one over here? Why is it like that? Because what I did is I took the first one and I took the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth one. First and sixth. Then what I took is the second, right? I took the third one. I try to take the same thing with numbers to run this pattern. 3 and 4, whatever goes in the third and fourth position, I'm going to add them up. Whatever goes in first and sixth position, I'm going to add it up. Except when I change to Saturn square, I move this one over here. I move this one over here. I move this one 9 in the second position. I move the fourth to the first position, the first to the 8th position. I take the third one, okay, and I move it into what position do I move the third? Oh, yes, I move the third one into the 4th position. Right? What's in the 6th position comes from the 7th position. So everything moves around in Saturn square. There's different ways of manipulating the numbers that are already being done. Everything is out there. Binary code, Fibonacci, it doesn't matter what it is. Everything is running in a sequence. Peace and love. And if you can help out the channel, that would be mighty great. That'd be fantastic. I can breathe again. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love to everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love to everybody. We win this game. This game was written that there is a creator that created this game. We cannot lose. With every breath you take into the womb that you breathe, the knowledge goes from your head into this womb. We participate alone and together, unknowingly, knowingly. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love. It's over. So, another brick on the wall, Pink Floyd. Teachers, leave those kids alone. Know that the TH begins at 4th and ends at 20th. When you say TH, why don't you just say teach? Time heaven, coming in 4th. 2 bronze.